Greetings, and welcome back to this video series on the new An Tir authorization portal. This series will provide instructions on the new authorization portal and the upgraded capabilities that it has. This video will cover how to use the new authorization platform as a senior marshal. This video builds upon the previous videos in the series, so it's recommended that you watch those. The primary function of the new authorization database is that it allows senior marshals to approve users without needing to complete physical paperwork and send it to the Kingdom Authorization Officer. In order to accomplish this, the system has a set of rules built into it that lay out what actions are allowed and who can perform them. For instance, a senior rapier marshal cannot approve armored combat authorizations, and a 15-year-old fighter cannot be approved to fight in cut thrust. As you use the system, it will look at your authorizations and the status of the fighter you are trying to authorize in order to determine if the authorization you are proposing is allowed. Let's go over the various scenarios to see how they work. Let's start with a brand new fighter. As we saw in the last video, new fighters are able to create accounts for themselves. This fighter has no authorizations yet. If we scroll a little down the page, we can see a new section called Add Authorizations. The account I'm using is a senior rapier marshal, so we will go ahead and add rapier single sword authorization to this fighter. As the authorization is added, we can see that it needs concurrence from another fighter. The Society has updated the rules so that any new authorization in a discipline or a renewal that has been expired for more than a year needs to have a second person as part of the authorization process. That second person can be another marshal in that discipline or a fighter who is authorized in that discipline. I already have a second user that is logged in, so we'll switch to them. Here, we can concur with this rapier authorization. As we see now, the authorization is pending waiver. This is because the user, Samuel Blunderbuss, hasn't signed his waiver yet. So we can go ahead and switch to his account, go to my account, and sign his waiver. If we go back to the original Marshal and hit refresh now, we'll see that it's been approved. Additional authorizations in this discipline don't need to go through this process. Now let's look at another fighter. This fighter has a membership, but no authorizations yet. We'll start by adding a junior marshal for rapier and a senior marshal for cut and thrust. As you can see, the marshal authorizations are a bit different than fighting authorizations. The first difference is that when you promote a marshal, you're required to state why you think they're ready for this authorization. The second is that these are set to status pending. That's because in order to create a marshal, one marshal must propose it, and then a second marshal must confirm it. We'll go ahead and switch to another user that is a senior marshal in both rapier and cut and thrust. So now we see that they have the ability to approve these authorizations. So we'll start by approving the rapier authorization. When we do, we see that it comes and becomes a full authorization. If we approve the cut and thrust authorization, it enters a new status for needs regional approval. This requires the regional or kingdom officer in this discipline to approve it. The last thing we want to look at is sanctions. we scroll below the authorizations on this page, we see that this user has sanctions in rapier and cut and thrust. We are not allowed to authorize them in any of the sanction styles until those sanctions are lifted. They can only be lifted by the appropriate Kingdom Marshal, the Earl Marshal, or the Kingdom Authorization Officer. That concludes this video on using the authorization portal as a Senior Marshal. The remaining videos in this series will show you how to use the system as other types of users. Please make sure to review all of the videos that match the level of access that you will have in the system.